welcome to Southern Girl Knits, episode 19. How's everybody doing? I'm Tish. You can find me on Ravelry as TishKnits33, or you can find me on Instagram as TishKnits. So, welcome. So, I have so much to tell you. I went to Dallas. It was so much fun. It was awesome. It was seriously a great festival. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Dallas has the DFW Fiber Fest every year, and this is the first year I've been able to go, even though I'm only, I think we're about 5.5 hours away from Dallas, and it was awesome. I loved it. It was so much fun. It was great. It was a great festival, good times. Got to see a lot of my friends that I don't get to see unless I go to festivals, which was nice. I'll have some pictures to show you guys. I'll put them at the end. I got a picture with Elizabeth Green Musselman and Stacy. I love them. They're awesome. Elizabeth has Dark Matter Knits podcast, and Stacy has a podcast with Steph, which is, I think she's Super Steph. I'm not sure if that's her Rav name or her Instagram name. They have the Mustache podcast. And I also got to meet up with Jinx from Jinx Yarn. And she has a podcast as well. I think it's called The Dyer's Notebook. And she is so sweet. She's ever so lovely. Like, it was really, and she has awesome yarn. So, yeah, it was good times. And I'm also going to show you a picture. In fact, I might insert that one now because it has a little bit of a backstory to it. 15 years ago, when I was pregnant with my first child, back before Facebook, before Instagram, they had Yahoo groups. Not sure how many of you remember Yahoo groups, but they had Yahoo groups, and I joined a Yahoo group for women who were pregnant and were going to deliver their first child in October of 2000. So we called it our Octomommies group. And we stayed friends on this group. We've not watched because we're all over the United States. And the group evolved when Facebook came around. We left Yahoo groups, came to Facebook. And the core group of us have stayed internet friends for 15 years. And one of these friends lives in Dallas. And I got to meet her. Hi, Dawn. And so I'll put a picture of her here. Isn't she sweet? She's so lovely. She's such a dear. I can't believe that I got to meet her. It was so great after 15 years of watching each other's children grow up. And the funny thing is that we both had our babies on the same day. And both of our daughters were named Lainey. So, small world, right? Isn't that crazy? So I got to meet her because she knits. She's a knitter now. And I'm not sure how long she's been knitting for, but it hasn't been too very long. A couple of years, I guess. But anyway, so we got to meet up and spend some time together, and that was really awesome. And I enjoyed that. And I've got so much to tell you. I feel overwhelmed. So much has happened. This is going to be a long episode. I'd apologize for it, but I warned you last week. So I'm going to start with all of my Dallas stuff first and then move to the other stuff because I have other things to tell you. So, okay. So we went to Dallas. I went with Carol. She's in my knitting group. And we drove in, met everybody, spent lots of money. I don't go to very many festivals a year. So I don't feel terrible about, this is the first year I'll be at two. I'll go Dallas and then mine, of course. So this is kind of when I stock up for the year with yarn. So let's see. First of all, Dallas has these great booklets they give you, and they had tons of teachers. I didn't get to take any classes because really we were just there for Saturday. We came up Friday, did a tour of the hall real quick, and then left, and then went for a couple hours on Saturday, but we did other things. We were staying with friends there, but they had Franklin Habit, Stephanie Pearl McPhee, Mary Beth Temple, just tons of people. It was awesome. It really was. So let's get to the fun stuff, right? We'll start with it's on top. So I'm just going to go with what's on top. So I had to get a project bag, right? So I love toile. Toile is this. You know the pictures that you see, you probably recognize it from like nurseries. They would put this in nurseries. But if you look very closely, you'll see the TARDIS up there. And down here, you'll see the Weeping Angel. Yeah, it's Doctor Who toile. And then on the inside, for those of you who are Doctor Who fans, you'll recognize that. It's the Silence. How cool is this bag? I love it. And then, of course, it's a drawstring bag with a loop. And I got this from Little Monkeys. She's Little Monkeys SNS at Etsy.com. So if you want to go look at her stuff there, she had a great booth set up. She had stitch markers and some beads, I believe, and project bags. And then she even had some yarn, some gradient yarn. So I got a Doctor Who project bag. Score! Okay, and then, so I hit Mustache hard. Yeah. I hit her so hard. It was like crazy. Like, I racked up at Mustache. Pretty much that's where I spent all my money. So much so that I had to get the big bag from her. So I got, let's see, I don't think this is OCD. No, this is just regular. It's 460 yards in her Perfect Sock, self-striping. Isn't that pretty? And the colorway is Chocolate Happy Birthday Cake. So it's going to stripe up with the brown and the pink, and then the white that you see, you can't really tell, but the white has like speckles of color in it. Like there's a little bit of green in there. I think it's gonna look awesome is what it's gonna look like. I cannot wait to knit this up. This makes me happy. And then of course, I had to get hubby some socks, some sock yarn, so I can knit him some socks. And this is her Woolly Bully base. This is her OCD. This is Kama Sutra. I didn't realize I bought that for my husband. The name of his is Kama Sutra. I feel like I should put an explicit rating now. But this is her self-striping. And her Woolly Bully base is Corriedale and nylon. So she was telling me that this will hold up better, which is good for hubby because he really likes to wear his socks a lot. So his get a lot of wear, and so they get a lot of washing. So this will be better for him. It'll hold up really, really well. And then I was so excited. When I walked in the booth, I seriously, you know how you walk into a booth and you kind of scan and your eyes will like be drawn to something? So when she was at Arkansas Fiber Fest, the Yarn Harlot bought a colorway from Stacy and then blogged about it, which meant that for months you could not get this colorway. So when I walked in and I saw it, I was like, oh, literally just like, what? I was like grabbing it and I'm like, it's mine. So this is in her Ritz sock. It's the Dark Side of the Moon. I got it. I'm so excited about this. This knits up awesome. It is so pretty. And I got the Ritz sock so you can see the sparkle. I got that for me because, I just don't have enough sparkle in my life, right? I need more sparkle. And then I got a skein of yarn for a friend of mine, and I don't want to show it because, let's see, she'll watch the podcast first before she gets her yarn, and I want her to be surprised, but I want to show you guys, but I'm going to let her show it on her podcast. But I got a friend a skein of mustache yarn, so Amanda, you're going to have to wait. And then I got a little thing of Perfect Toes. She sells, it's just in black because hubby likes his heels and toes in solid, the black solid color. So I'm going to do that for him. So she had that. I thought that was really cool. And then that's it for mustache. The bookish stitcher gave me this. How cute is this? It is to hold your DPNs when you're knitting. There's snaps. So you'll have your sock go on with your DPNs on it, and you put them in here, snap it closed, and they've got two different closures here depending on how big your project is, because if you're, you can snap this one, but if it's a little bit larger, you can just snap this one. And so it's kind of like a DPN saver, catcher. Yeah, I don't know. But it's really cool. And thank you, because it's awesome. And I thought that was so sweet that she gave that to me. So I can't wait to use that, because I don't use my DPNs just because, seriously, if you shove them in a project bag, I have, especially the signatures, oh my gosh, they will so poke through your bag and slip off. And so I really got out of the habit of using them, and I like DPNs. So, yay. Super excited about that. And then, what else? Oh, so I hit up Jinx Yarn, and, who I told you before, so sweet. She's so sweet. Her and her husband were working the booth, and so I went in there, and she was out of her self-striping sock yarn. I was like, oh. But I did get this. This is her worsted weight, and it is it's her merino worsted weight. The color is Sansa, S-A-N-S-A. It's 100% superwash merino, 218 yards. Look how pretty those colors are. I love this. This makes me happy. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. To be determined, but it made me happy. So, on the second day when I went back to Jinx to talk to her, she had decided that she has the Harry Potter House Cup self-striping sock yarn. It's very popular, very hard to get. She sold out like that. I mean, seriously, like I didn't even get to look at it. It was gone by the time I got there. And so she opened up and took orders. And how awesome is this? She took orders for the yarn, and she's shipping it for free. How cool is that? I was like, yes, please. So I will have that to show you at a later date. So, and then when we left, we, of course, went by IKEA. The Carol, who I was traveling with, wanted to pick something up, and we don't have an IKEA here. We have no IKEA. Isn't that horrible? But they have one in Dallas, so she wanted to pick it up. So we stopped and picked it up. And while we're there, we kind of, oh God, it takes forever. That store is huge. I mean, it's like crazy. It's like overwhelming. But I had to get on this trip. My 8-year-old, I didn't throw away. I donated all of his stuffed animals because we kind of did this purge back in December, where we kind of like purged everything, cleaned the house out, and I got rid of the stuffies thinking he was done with them. He was okay with it at the time. I didn't like sneak him out of the house. He was okay with it at the time, and then it hit him that I don't have any stuffies anymore and I want one. And so while I was at IKEA, I passed by this guy. How cute is he, right? So I picked this up for Reese, and he's been loving on him for since I got home. I think he's hugged him more than me. So yeah, score. And then he went and looked up. I told him that IKEA was a Swedish, a place that, they're Swedish. So he went and looked up the Swedish name for bear. And that's now the bear's name is whatever the Swedish word for bear is. That's his name. Oh, and I got this shirt. And I'm not sure how much of it you can see. Because Sea Wool, Craft Wool, Bee Wool. It's a Mad Tosh shirt. They had a Mad Tosh booth. So I had to go to the Mad Tosh booth, right? Yeah. So got that. It's like a nice, it's one of those thin sweatshirts that it has like, it's fleece lined, but it's really, really thin. It's not heavy. It's really light. And I love it. It makes me happy. Okay, so that is all of my stuff. That wasn't terrible, right? That wasn't too bad. I didn't do horrible, horrible damage. So, while I was there, I knit on my, speaking of Mad Tosh, my honey cowl. It just went whoop, right out of my head. See, I've got too much to talk about. So I knit on my honey cowl, and I finished it. I say I finished it. I haven't, obviously. The ends are all, the ends are all over the place. But it is done. Let's see if I can. Yay. I love it. It makes me happy. I told you this project is like so much fun to knit. It's easy, it's simple, the results are phenomenal. It's just a really good pattern. And I'm done with it, and I still have a lot of yarn left over because I knit this out of the Manos Maxima in the current colorway. And I still have a whole skein left. So, I don't know what I'll do with that. I will put it up for later usage, right? I don't know what I brought out that made my nose go crazy. I swear it only does that when I'm talking to you guys. I also came home and my husband he loves to build things. He's like amazing working out. He like builds all the things. And he made this coffee table, and you can't really get a good picture of it, but he painted it white on bottom and black stain on top. So I have a new coffee table. That was fun to come home to. All the fun things, right? So I don't know if you remember me telling you that I did with Homespun House the favorite things swap. So I got partnered with my partner was in Norway, right? Yes, she was in Norway. And I got her package in the mail. And the kids love this. I mean, how cool is this that, you know, you got to pick your favorite. You didn't send them what they wanted. You sent them what your favorite stuff was from where you're from. So she sent me her favorite candies and 3 mini skeins or 6 mini skeins of her favorite yarn, her favorite tea. And I tried not to open any of it up before I saw you guys, but the kids wanted to try some of the candy. So once they saw it, she sent licorice. And this is the black licorice. So good. I know that's one of those things that it's kind of got to have a taste for, which I do. I love black licorice. And so she sent that. I thought that was awesome. And then we all took turns trying to read the back of the bag with its different language. So that was fun times. And then she sent, and that one was open because the kids had to dig into it. I was able to hide this one from them. And to me, it reminds me of the Werthers originals that we have here in America, but I don't know because I haven't opened it up yet. So I have no clue. Again, we took turns trying to read the back of the bag. And then she sent lots of tea in an IKEA bag. So I've got, it's Puka is the name brand. And so she sent 3 different, this is 3 Tulsi. It's purple Tulsi, lemon Tulsi, and green Tulsi. They all smell like licorice because one that she also put a peppermint and licorice in here. So they all smell like licorice. Because it smells so strong, but God, it smells so good. It's awesome. And then, what else? Vanilla chai. And then the last one, which, it's a different brand. I didn't realize that. Hampstead this is London. This is from London, and it's a Darjeeling. So I get to try, and there's a bunch of them in here. I just pulled out one of each flavor, but there's a ton of them in here. And so I've got lots of amazing tea. And now I can start drinking it now that I've showed you guys. So she sent her skeins, her mini skeins of yarn. And I think she wrote which one was which. And thank goodness she speaks English. Because, you know, yay. Yeah, she wrote which one was which, but I'm just going to give you little samples. And these are just enough to do a blanket square. I'm not sure if they're enough to do the one that not barn raising, the one that I'm doing, or if this is made for the miter square. So I'll have to try one out and see if there's enough yardage for that. I'm not sure. But she's got stray cat. Let's see. There's stray cats, Mad Tosh, some brands that I haven't heard of. I can't wait to try them out, though. I thought that was really cool. And then also, she sent, which I thought this was really super cool. She sent seeds. And I'm not a gardener, although I want to be. So I might do, just get some the big, you know, planters and do these. Because it's about time to start planting here. So that was really cool. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do that swap and get things from another country. And we've been contacting each other back and forth on Ravelry, so we've gotten to know each other a little bit, and that's fun. It's neat. It's not very often you get to, you know, talk to someone and get to know someone from a completely different country. So, yay. And let's see, what else do I have to show you guys? Oh, so I got that off my needles. I got the honey cow off my needles. And I had to cast something on. And I worked on this a little bit in Dallas too. And this is a paid for pattern. Let's see. Here we go. This is the Henslow. Can you see that? Yeah. There we go. The Henslow. It's by Beth Kling, K-L-I-N-G. And it is gorgeous. Let's see if I can. Isn't that beautiful? The construction is so interesting. Ugh, I left off in the middle of a row. You'll get a better view of it next week. The way you cast on down here at this point, and you go up, and I'm going to bind off and then go back and pick up in these little, you do a yarn over at the beginning of each row. So you go back and you pick up in the yarn overs, and then that's when you knit the lace portion of the pattern. How cool is that? I was like, that's a really interesting construction. And I'm doing this out of Mad Tosh in the Badlands colorway. And this is the Tosh Merino Light. I think I did a lot of research. I looked at other people's project pages, and people have knitted out of sock yarn. They've knitted out of fingering weight, light fingering weight. This is a light fingering weight. The only thing that everybody talks about is you play yarn chicken. I don't have to worry about that because I've got I think I have 3 skeins of this Mad Tosh Light. No, in fact, I'm doubling the pattern to make it larger because I have so much yarn and I don't want it to go to waste, right? So I'm really excited about that. And it's knitting up fast right now because it's just garter stitch. So yeah. So it's going really quick now. It looks like I've like blown through it and spent all my time on it, but I really haven't. It's just garter stitch. While we were in Dallas, we went and saw 2 movies at one of the theaters that you can do dinner and a movie. And they had, I saw Focus with Will Smith and Cinderella. And the Will Smith movie was so good. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I was kind of on the fence about when they suggested it. I was like, yeah, But I do like Will Smith, so I'm always up for a Will Smith movie. really cute movie. It kind of makes you want to, I've got this really bad habit of leaving my purse sitting down and like not paying attention. It's about pickpockets is a good way to say it without giving anything away. I'm sure they show you that in the trailers. But anyway, super cute movie. I liked it. Cinderella was cute. I'm not big on fairy tales, so it was good. It was a good. You know, honestly, I kind of liked Ever After. The way they did Cinderella was they really did the traditional Cinderella story. It's almost like they took the Disney version and followed that script. So, you know, it is what it is. It was cute. So, all right, what else do I have to show you guys? I have been working on, as if I haven't had enough to work on, right? As if I haven't had enough to show you guys. You know that I'm knitting. I haven't shown you this in a while. That's why I'm showing it to you. Because it is still happening. As soon as I find the name of it. What is up with that? Oh, well. It's the, I'm trying to remember if this is a paid for pattern because there's not a picture on here without a, yeah. I'll just do that. This is the barn raising quilt. And it's, you can't, the pattern's in a book. You can't buy the pattern. So I've been working on those a little bit here and there. I've been trying, so this is easy knitting. This is potato chip knitting. This is, you don't have to pay attention. When you start, I start on magic loop, and then when it gets big enough, I put it on my circular needles so I can constantly have two going at one time. Very easy knitting. Seriously, don't have to pay attention, especially if you use stitch markers. You know when you get to the stitch marker, it's time to do something. And I knit these all day yesterday because I got Broadchurch Season 2. Yeah. Wow. Okay, if you've not watched Broadchurch, the first season is on Netflix. And to get Season 2, you have to buy it. It has David Tennant in it. That should be enough right there. Just saying that David Tennant in it should be enough for you to go run out and watch it. But seriously, it's a great show. And when I should have known that when I turned it on, I wasn't going to be able to turn it off. And it's spring break here, so the kids are home. So, and they were playing outside, and I was still kind of recovering from my trip. So I broke out the knitting, turned the TV on, and watched the entire season of Broadchurch. Yeah. I took a break in between every episode. I did 5 loads of laundry yesterday and vacuumed the house and all this in between episodes. Because, you know, that's what moms do, right? So I watched Broadchurch and cleaned my house, and that's all I did. That and knit blanket squares. So, yeah. And before I left I wanted to tell you this because before I left for Dallas, I watched Death Comes to Pemberley. And it's on Netflix, if you have Netflix. So good. I didn't read the book. I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. Huge. Read all of her books. Love them. Big time Jane Austen fan. Like, seriously. Can't get enough of Jane Austen, right? So I have this issue with when people try to take her books and give you, like, part 2. You just don't mess with Jane Austen in my mind. Well, this P.D. James wrote Death Comes to Pemberley, and I didn't read it because Jane Austen didn't write it. But they made a series out of it. I think it's 3. It's like a mini-series. I want to say it's like 3 episodes. Yeah, I think it's like 3 episodes. And it picks up a couple years after Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice. And they did a really good job. Matthew Rhys was in it. I don't know if you know who that is. He was in Brothers and Sisters. What's her name? Jenna Coleman, is that her name? From Doctor Who. She's the companion, this well, she was the companion with Matt Smith, and she's still the companion right now. Gosh, she's in there, and it's just, oh, she does such a good job. So, yeah, that was a cute show. Cute little miniseries, and get a little bit of Jane Austen. And then that put me in the mood for Jane Austen, so I went and watched the Colin Firth 1995 miniseries, Pride and Prejudice, and then I watched the 1995 Sense and Sensibility. And that was all before I left for Dallas. That was after I saw you, but before I went to Dallas. So, yeah. I promise I do more things than just watch TV. So, I think that's all I have for you guys. And it's not even as long of an episode as I thought it was going to be. So, yay. Or maybe I talked really fast. When I get excited, I do talk fast. So, that is all that I have for you guys this week. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. I'm trying to... Oh, my sweater. Just so you know, still going strong. We're good. I didn't bring it with me because it was just too big of a project, so it hasn't gotten any love. That's why I haven't shown it. We are going to end the cowl, though, at the end of April. So you still have plenty of time. And a lot of you guys that are fast knitters, go ahead and cast on. If you can finish a sweater, you still have plenty of time because it's not even April yet, right? So go for it. And that's it. I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, always be awesome. Bye, guys.